point, I've got Mr. On the Mountain Ministries on the other side. You want to sound off?
Yeah, how you guys doing today? Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy. Shalom to everybody. So we are recording this video and then it will be posted live in a couple of days. So by the time you're reading this, we're obviously not live anymore. But what brings us here together is to talk about the Origin Moab, the mother of all Britches. And I guess I sometimes call them the Moab pants, even though Britches and pants doesn't always make sense. But hey, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I think they're technically a different thing, but
Yeah, you know, Britches, pants, whatever. We all put our pants on one leg at a time, right?
yeah, for sure. Well, that's at least how I try to do it.
Same here. All right. So for a little bit of a preface, if you're not familiar with 12C Conditioning or On the Mountain Ministries, just wanted to introduce ourselves real quick. So 12C Conditioning, I am a kind of fitness and faith-based channel, and I do gear reviews. I do quite a bit of push-ups right now. I'm doing a front back clap challenge that is just taking me forever to do. Also dropping some, Bible videos here and there and different stuff. But it's all in the world of getting good at doing things that we're not good at, and just repetition and getting better all the time, because that conditioning requires the work that you get put in. Mr. On the Mountain Ministries, would you like to introduce your channel a little bit?
Yeah, for sure. So my channel was originally started off with I grew up in scouting, and so I wanted to take the aspects from Boy Scouts of America and cross over with what the Bible says.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the people that are younger generation, I feel like everyone understands trustfulness, loyalty, all those things. The 12 rules of the Scout Law, they're good, but the Bible also talks about all that. And so
Awesome.
I wanted to take my love for the outdoors and amateur radio and so on in the Bible, and try to make some videos that a broader audience could see.
That's fantastic. How long have you been on YouTube now?
On this channel, about a year and a half, 2 years. I've been on and off doing YouTube as kind of a hobby from different channels for years and years. My other channel is Scouting in the Woods. I haven't uploaded to that for like 4 years.
You're good.
Yeah.
No worries. I have attempted a couple other things, and 12C Conditioning is the one that I decided to focus my efforts on. And so there's other YouTube videos of me out there, but nothing that I'm proud of. And this is the channel that, people can interact with me on. So.
Yeah, for sure. Same with me over here.
Yeah. So if someone's looking to plug in with you, it's not Scouting in the Woods for your backup channel, but for your main channel, On the Mountain Ministries, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Also on Instagram.
Also on Instagram under the same name?
Yes.
Cool. All right. So 12C Conditioning on my end, and it's just the number 12 and then number 12 TH and then _C on Instagram if you're trying to find me there. So without further ado, I wanted to get into what we're actually here to talk about. The Origin Moab pants. Mr. Scouting in the Woods, how long have you had yours for?
I got my pants about a year ago, just over a year ago, 14 months.
Okay, awesome. And so did you catch yours on sale? Did you pay full price? What were you looking into?
Yeah, so I bought 2 pairs up front right as they released them. I don't remember if they did a full sale right off the bat, but I knew the canvasy material is something I already enjoyed, so I figured I'd hop on the bandwagon.
Yeah, understand completely. I've had mine for a little over a month now. I bought 2 pairs. Got them on sale. No, I didn't get them on sale. They were running a deal where you buy the hoodie for stupid cheap, way less than what it cost to manufacture it, and then the Moab pants were not their sale price, but not their full MSRP or whatever. I think I've ended up paying about $100 a pop for them. And I just lost some light, so let me move around and let the motion lights catch me again.
You're trying to disappear on us.
Hey, it's just one of those smoke bomb and disappear acts. Anyway, so I bought Moab pants approximately a month ago. I bought 2 pairs. I got so these right here that I'm wearing are the ODs, or forest green, or whatever they're calling these now. Do you remember what they're calling them? Olive or
I think
something.
it's stable green, something along those
Sable
lines.
green, something like that.
Yeah.
And they've treated me pretty well. And I also got the like the tan color or whatever. Uh, and I work in a outdoor maintenance type environment where I'm twisting wrenches, I'm climbing over and under things, I'm dealing with oil, grease, like all of that. Um, what type of job are you working? Like you're on your feet most of the night, aren't you?
Oh yeah. So I'm on my feet. It could be anywhere from 8 to 14 hours a day.
Hmm.
I work in a bakery, so there's plenty of flour and icing and grease all around the place all the time.
Yeah. Okay. So um, you're moving stuff, you're picking stuff up, you're squatting, you're
Yes.
bending. It's not like you're
Yep.
just standing at a desk or anything. These are
Yep, for
work
sure. I'm lifting
pants, and
50
they're
pound bags all night, heavy
awesome.
buckings of icing. So I mean, they get some use.
There you go. Same here. I am lifting heavy things. I was just changing a tire not that long ago, and this was not like a car tire. This was a lot bigger. And so those types of things where you are crawling around on the ground, you're moving heavy equipment, you are picking those things up, you're putting them where they need to go. You're bending, you're squatting, you're stooping, you're stretching. I have noticed in mine that they pretty well move with me for the most part everywhere, everything that I need to do. I feel very little restriction in my movement. Have you noticed the same thing or different or?
Yeah, I've noticed the same thing. They fit my body for pretty well for what I'd say. They're a little skinnier, I guess, but
Hmm.
they definitely fit my. They mold with you, I guess, like you're saying.
Yeah. So just showing mine a little bit more, and we'll get into fit and finish, I guess. But as far as like actual movement, these pretty well work with me, do what I need to do on them, and they look like skinny jeans on me. Um, and we'll get there, but like most of my pants look that way on me anyway. Like even the relaxed fit stuff. I guess just so people can see movement wise, like I can, no restrictions, do what I need to do. I've got full range of motion, so they're not, even though they are a little bit slimmer, they're not tight by any means. Um, I have not noticed any real like long-term wear on them yet, but I'm only in them about a month. Having yours for a year, what kind of things are you noticing?
Yeah, so I guess just to preface this as well, I've used these for camping, fishing. I wore them all hunting season.
Awesome.
So with this, the I think it's called the sandstone. It's kind of like the khaki, I
Yeah,
guess you would
and
say.
that's probably the color I have, tan khaki,
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
yeah, because yeah. So that pair, I see virtually no difference for the most part than when I bought them. The
Awesome.
green pair, after a year, the belt loops. I wear a lot of stuff on my belt, so there's a little
Hmm.
bit of wear and tear there. They are starting to fade a little bit,
Hmm.
but other than that, the construction and quality is great. I'm looking at them right now.
Good.
There's no. I think the rear left pocket. There's a little bit of like. I guess you would say that the fabric's kind of scratching a little bit. I carry a
Hmm.
tourniquet back there, so
Yeah,
other than that, it's not like there's a hole forming or anything yet.
that's good.
So
That's good. What would you say like your biggest pro of the pants are that you've had?
honestly, I like the pocket layout. In fact, I liked them so much I ended up buying their shorts as well. I think they call it the
Oh
shark
yeah.
fin back pocket.
Hmm.
I could fit a handkerchief in there, a wallet, super easy, no
Hmm.
issues with that. Um, the front pockets, I like the little watch pocket. The belt
Yeah.
loops,
So those are
I'm
the
sure,
shark fin right there,
yeah.
just so people can see. And there's not like a ton of contour to them, but there's enough that like
Hmm.
it's more important than you think.
Oh yeah, after I started wearing the Origin jeans and stuff, I realized that was such a bonus.
Hmm.
Um, eh, just whoever thought of that was genius, in my opinion. I
Yeah.
like the layout of the watch pocket. I keep a lighter in there,
Hmm.
pipe tamper. So I mean that for me, it's a nice little pocket. Just put small things in there. Uh,
Hmm.
the the way I carry a Ontario Rat 2, so
Oh
the
yeah.
pocket clip for the knife. I mean, it sits perfect. I'm not seeing any wear and tear on that either. Um, I like the way the belt loops are laid out. I'm sure that you have something to say about that. For
Oh,
me,
100%,
that's not as
100%.
yeah. I don't normally wear tassels, so for the
Mhm.
most part, it doesn't affect me in that way. But if you carry a Safariland holster with their
Mhm.
paddle, it fits there just fine, and I
That's
approve
good
of
to know.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
just
that
I
is
guess
very good
for
to know.
anybody that watches you, I'm sure they use Safariland, so
Mhm.
their little belt loop, it fits perfect right there on the right hip.
That is fantastic to know. So I'm going to adjust my my setup very briefly if people want to get a look up my nose hairs real fast. Um, so just a little bit of an EDC tour, and I'm not going to do a total EDC tour on what I'm doing because there are some of my things that are nobody's business. But normally this pocket, I would run my phone. Um, I'm running a Linwood blunt force trauma belt, and that is just a leather belt, very heavy. Very heavy belt buckle. That is something that goes with me everywhere because like it goes in non-permissive environments. But the belt buckle is so heavy that it will do damage. So you can use it for what you need to use it for. So I'm wearing my CTOs. The like you were saying, the belt loop spacing is if you wear tassels, the belt loop spacing is perfect, like absolutely perfect on these. I like them. They don't interfere with my pockets, but I know that they're there. And then back here, they're not 100% on your side; they are slightly back. And if you wear tassels all day, them being slightly back really, really does matter. As far as belt loop placement, it's got the double belt loop back here. And normally I'm a 7 belt loop guy, and that tends to be a point of preference. And it's a complaint of mine in the Delta 68s that Origin makes. But these are also a 6 belt loop pant, um, but they are placed in an appropriate manner. And so that really, really matters, more than I thought it would. But I can deal with 6 on this because they're placed in just the right spots. And who would ever think about complaining about belt loop placement? Keys are nobody's business because I don't want people making copies off of those. I've got a flashlight that I run back here. I've got a review video on that, just so how you guys can see how it's laid out right there. And then running a soft tee with a what you do pair of shears right there, and that
I like
stores.
that. I've been wondering how you've been doing that, but now I'm
Mhm.
seeing it. That's pretty smart.
And that stores very, very conveniently in my back pocket without any issues. And those shark fins do matter, um, and the way it sits, I can sit on my butt with these here, and they go either side of my butt, and that works just fine. Car key, nobody's business what kind of car I drive. This pocket up here, I will usually run headphone case, um, and then wallet. My wallet's nobody's business because you don't need to know what cards I have, what bank I use. Um, I will run a set of gloves usually in the coin pocket. They fit really well. The um, you can run the gloves in there, and then you still have room for a lighter if you want to run a lighter. I don't always. I usually will have one in a bag or something. And then currently I'm running a Leatherman Skeletal. And I will do a more in-depth review on this when I finally have an opinion on it. But I'm trying to break this, and so far so good. But that, all in all, pretty well matters for inside the pocket use placement. I mean, I run these pockets full a lot of the time, and I don't have any restriction in movement doing that. I don't have anything binding up on me. Um, And then, in case you are wondering, and not for the camera, but in case you guys are wondering, CCW in these with my normal size works just fine. If you are going to CCW something similar to a chassis system, like I have other videos on, I would recommend going 1 to 2 sizes up what you normally would, and that's just for if you're going to CCW chassis system. But if you have something that is a little more slim, a little more discreet, then your normal size should just be fine without much issue. ask me how I know. But yeah, all in all, I would say that pocket layout, belt loop layout are probably amongst my favorite features in these pants. I don't know about you.
Yeah, I that would be my favorite piece too. The crotch gusset, I guess you could probably call it. That's nice too
Yeah,
if you're out hiking.
I wanted to get there on that one.
Yeah, I didn't mean to steal your thunder there.
You're good. No, you're good. I was just kind of working from top to bottom on the pants first. So what in pants that have the crotch gusset versus the ones that don't? Why do you like the crotch gusset?
So I guess the mobility part for the most part, right? When I'm out hiking, depending on if I got a haversack on or a rucksack, depending on the situation. For instance, when I was elk hunting this last fall, walking up the side of the mountain and just the spacing and the way the pants work in that region of your body, it definitely helps. Like you're doing lunges up and down compared to like just a cowboy cut Wrangler. I wear those all the time as well. Plus there's way more spacing. So for the most part, that'd be one of my favorite parts about that.
Awesome. On my end for crotch gussets, I have work pants that don't have them, and I have work pants that do. The Delta 68 video that I did a little while back, I hold up the Lee Active Motion to the Delta 68s side by side, and my biggest complaint about the Delta 68 is it doesn't have the crotch gusset. The Lees do, however, the wear pattern that I have finally developed on the Lees after like really getting into them is that the crotch gusset really didn't make a difference, and it was because the wear pattern in them, the way those pants were laid out, I was getting wear on the opposite end of the crotch gusset, like right before you got to the seam. And the goal is having the crotch gusset big enough so that way, like as you move, as your legs come a little bit further apart, as you squat a little bit more, like all that stuff, that crotch gusset will basically be sacrificial wear. So that way you can take the pants to someone to mend them, and then they have like a pre-cut out set of fabric that just like drops right in. And so it's not truly sacrificial wear, but it might as well be. And I find that pants that have good crotch gusset layouts, like I've had some other work pants that were, not made in America that had a good crotch gusset. I think Duluth probably has one of the better ones on the market. And so far, I'm only a month in. I haven't seen anywhere on the knees or in the crotch gusset or on the cuffs or anything like that. So that is noteworthy.
When you say Duluth, are you talking about the Duluth fire hose pants?
Yeah. I've played around in those. I want to like them more, and I don't.
Really?
So yeah.
I had a pair for years, and I enjoyed them with the cargo pockets.
The cargo pockets are nice, but I am so picky about cargo pockets. Like I think it's really more of how they lay when there's nothing in them. Is 99% of my complaint in cargo pockets. So.
A lot of the people on here probably wear the 511. I can't remember which model, but the 511 has a gusset in the center as well. I still prefer the Moab pants over those, and I've wore those before. I honestly, if anyone remembers Twitch from Refuge, I don't remember what model he wears, but that's the same model I have. So if anyone can track that down on whatever pants he wears, I still prefer the Moab over those.
That's good to know. I appreciate that tidbit. I have played around in some 511s, and I've never bought a pair. It's more of like borrowing a set, and it's like, oh, okay, this is what I like, this is what I don't like. But I really want to buy the Born Preventive pants, but I do not have deep enough pockets for buying a couple of sets of those, because those are like $250 a pop. So,
yeah.
Which on that price point, a lot of times Origin will run sales on picking up a pair of Moabs, and you can usually get 2 sets for, I want to say like $80 a piece. If you just watch sales, and you can pick stuff up usually around Black Friday, like they go on super sale. So that's that's a good way to pick them up and not break the bank. That's usually how I buy my Delta 68s. Is I around Black Friday pick up 2 extra pairs.
Yeah, that's, I think the Black Friday, Independence Day, and then sometimes over like Veterans and Memorial Day, they'll do big sales from what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And I try to get, a couple $100 set aside for either hoodies or t-shirts or whatever. So
yeah,
if you can keep an eye on those sales, it's the way to go.
I would agree. The Delta 68s, I think, are worth every penny at the sale price. I am still not like 100% on board with like them as a true blue, like all of my jeans get replaced with them, but I like them. And at the sale price, like I, wouldn't pick another pair of pants.
Have you tried their factory denim? It's like the thicker one.
That's the next one on my list. The crotch gusset is what would make or break the Delta 68s for me, and then moving the belt loops. But I understand why they did what they did. So like I'm not complaining. It's just when I pick them up, I'm only going to pick them up on sale. I'm not going to pay full price for them.
I would agree on the Delta 68s.
The Moabs, I would say that picking those up at full price, I think, is relatively worth it. So far, I mean, I'm only a month deep, but so far, I am very happy with my Moabs, and I only have 2 complaints. And I wanted to know if you wanted to share some of your complaints on them.
Yeah, so I guess if you're ready to kind of hop into the fit, if you're okay with that. Yeah. So the fit for me, I'm a skinny guy. If anyone's seen any other videos, I'm 6'2", like 160 pounds. I'm small. So for me, the jeans, they still look like more of a slim cut. I'm not a skinny jean guy. I can get away with it. At least I would say. That being said, for the most part, I only wear boots. So a lot of times I'll wear like a Western style boot. Those obviously won't work with Moabs. I wear a pair of Red Wing Iron Rangers, and those, in my opinion, look really slick. Or if you just want to wear like a Duluth hiking boot, they work okay with that. Probably the only complaint I can think of off the top of my head, because I've been thinking about this for about the week now, is the ankle kit. If you guys wear the Refuge ankle kit, it's tight.
100%. So I would say fitment is, and we were just talking about how they move with you, and they're good, and they are. In my what are my Delta 68s? I can run my ankle kit, no problem. Like there's looks like my ankle is a little swollen, but like that's what ankle kits do. So like it is what it is. But in the Moabs, the cuff, even on their most relaxed like boot cut or their most relaxed like just open straight taper leg, it doesn't matter. That is not going over your ankle kit. And just to show you guys, so here is how I'm running my ankle kit, and I'm wearing some Belleville Tactical Research 0 drops. And it's just because I like wide toe boxes and I like low to the ground, minimalist soles. And it's just because I run in minimalist shoes. But, that is typically what I'm doing. And when it's off, I've got a little bit of a cuff that it'll clear, a lace up boot just fine. But past that, like I'm not really getting an ankle kit. And, that's an ankle kit from people who actually use their ankle kits.
Dang, yours is definitely getting more use.
Oh yeah, no,
that's nice. That's nice.
Hardware on it, and the goal is to break this thing and then mail it back and be like, hey, this is what you need to do for the round 2. So
yeah, I do have a pair of Go Ruck. I guess they're combat boots. If you've ever looked at their stuff, it's just a combat boot like yours. So those taper up, and those look fine under them as well.
I would say if someone's wearing an insulated boot, they probably won't get that boot over, or the pant cuff over the boots. But shy of an insulated boot, or a Western style, or whatever. Which I would think with Western you could probably just tuck them, but that's an optics thing.
I mean, you could, but I have a pair of Irish Setter hunting boots, and so what I did when I was hunting is basically I just tucked the pant into the boot, even though that's terrible. But I did that, and then I just put my gaiters on over top of my boots. And so in that aspect of it, the pant canvas is thin enough where it can go right underneath. But if you're wearing like
That's
a
good.
thermal long john under them, it doesn't cut back mobility, at least in my
Okay.
experience.
So you've got some harsher winters up there.
Hmm.
How do they fare in the winter? Just the pants and what your normal undergarment would be, like not extra long johns, not
Yeah, for sure.
how do those fare in the winter?
Actually, from my experience, I feel like the weave might be a little tighter than the Delta 68s.
Okay, that's good to
So
know.
I can wear these like with more of a breeze or a chillier temperatures, and I don't
Hmm.
feel as cold as with the Delta 68s. And that might just be the way they sit
Yeah,
on my legs.
I think the Delta 68s are breathable enough that
Hmm.
I haven't really used them for heavy winter use. I mean, I've been outside in them, but my Delta 68s are not my um, they're not work jeans for me. Now,
Yeah, for sure.
I might do work related things in them, and like I guess the way I treat my Delta 68s is probably how some people treat their work pants. But in general, it is more of my running around, doing errands pants.
Yeah.
And if I pick up a pallet of rice or something, or we go do an Azure drop, and we're moving a little bit more heavy things. I have no problem doing those in Delta 68s. Whereas like I'm going to work and I'm going to be covered in grease, and I'm going to be picking up heavy things for like 8 hours at a time. I'm putting on work pants, and so far these Moabs are treating me very, very well. Um, yeah, solid complaints is I don't like that the cuffs are you know they're snugger, and so I can't run my ankle cap um, under. I mean, I run over, and who cares? It works just fine. And then fit wise, if these were as relaxed around my quads, or if as they are relaxed around my quads, if they would be that relaxed around my ankles, that would be a nice touch. So I don't know if they would just like increase the taper just a little bit better. Um, and then the if they were as relaxed as they are when I take them off at the end of the day, as they are when I pull them out of the dryer. They relax a little bit more, and I like the all day feel of it having been worn, versus the like when it comes out of the dryer, it feels like it returns back to its original shape a little bit more. Um, and I prefer I notice it getting just a little bit looser at the end of the day. So I usually will get 2 to 4 days out of a pair, just depending on how filthy I get. Because like what I'm going to get dirty again at the next shift, so it's no big deal. Um, and that first time I put them on, they're a little bit snugger in the quads and the calves, than they are when I take them off at the end of the night. So for what that's worth to you, I don't know what you've noticed.
Yeah, I'd probably say the same thing. If you get 2, 3, 4 days wear out of them, depending on
Mhm.
what you're doing in them, they're going to get a little looser, I'd say.
Mhm.
But they definitely
And
do go back to the size.
yeah, they do return to shape very, very well, which I guess is a perk of just how they've built them. Out of 10, what would you rate these pants?
Mm. Out of all the pants I've ever worn, I'd probably rate this at probably about an 8.
Okay, I was gonna say 8, 8.5, especially for work pants.
Uh huh.
I don't know that they are true like casual pants. You could wear them that way, which is fine. There are more comfortable pants that Origin makes, for more casual type stuff, which I would say the Delta 68s truly fit in that category. The Moab, um, it, when you just hold them, it's like this is a more rugged pant.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, I would say, yeah, 8.5 out of 10. In all honesty, to the point that I am comfortable with the full price. That when I need another pair of work jeans, when I need another pair of work pants, whatever, that I have no problem dropping the $120 on them, and not crying one bit about them, because they and all. Yeah, I mean, for whenever they make another set, if they would just make them slightly more relaxed, especially in the calves and in the ankles, just so that way I could incorporate my ankle kit, that would be super, super awesome.
Yeah, I would agree. That's
disappearing again.
You're disappearing. Yeah, no, if they were just a little bit bigger, especially like I said, just because I'm a boot guy. But other than that, I wear my pants casually. Like the sandstone color, depending on what shirt you wear, they look fine at church. They could be just out hiking, work, like you say. I wear them around the house.
That's good.
Just for casual. But my body shape's a little different than yours, I guess. So it just depends.
So yeah, for reference, depending on the day, I'm between 6 and 6'1", so probably closer to 6 foot by the end of the day when my spine is starting to compress a little bit more. But I'm right around that 6 foot mark, and I hover between the 200-pound mark and the 235 mark, depending on how much muscle I'm putting on. And I'm currently trying to slim down a little bit. I'm trying to get closer to that 200-pound mark again, because my diet has been trash lately. So I've been, I would love to say I was bulking, but
it'll just make the cut better.
It is what it is. So yeah, you can say I'm cutting again, but in a very informal way. For everything, the fit is pretty good. The construction is amazing. The way they wear, I haven't seen any fading, but I'm only a month deep. I know you have had yours long enough to see the fade in one color. Pockets, crotch gusset, and belt loops alone, for me, make these the 8.5 out of 10. The fact that they return to shape well, the fact that they do relax, and the fact that I'm unimpaired while I move, is fantastic. So I don't want to tone down the fact that I do have a couple of complaints, but those complaints are relatively negligible in the sense that I can get around those without any issue, and these outright work for me. And I think that's what justifies the price. And neither of us are being paid to say that we like these pants. We both bought them, with our own money. Origin doesn't know or care who we are. So that I think that should say enough. And the fact that we both like American-made stuff, and we both like these pants enough to, buy more of them with our own money.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I guess if you guys are looking for a second witness, I also would buy them at full price. So
awesome. I mean, yeah, if I can get them on sale, I'm going to, but I'm comfortable enough with the price and the way that I like them that I would pay full price again without question. So
yeah.
Let's see. As far as long-term sustainment in your pants, you say they still relatively look like the day you bought them?
Yeah, the sandstone khaki color looks brand new. The pockets, actually, now I think about this, I guess it depends on what people carry. I normally have a cat tourniquet in my front left pocket. There's a little bit of, like, I guess, little fuzz balls forming.
Well, the Velcro from the cat would do that for sure.
Yep. And so but even then, no holes are forming. I'm a pocket hoarder. Nothing's bad's happening. The green, over the year I've worn them, like I said, I wear them pretty hard though. Between work, hunting, fishing, and all that, there is a little bit of fade, but
and that's standard practice.
Yeah, it's just dying. So, but the khaki ones, they look almost brand new. So I guess it depends on what color people are going for, but even with the fading, not an issue at all.
That's good. That's really good. For if you could change anything about the pants, what would you change?
Yeah, the only thing I can think of, and I would agree, is just a little bit more space on the
Hmm.
the cuff at the bottom. Other than that, I like.
Hmm.
Oh, I guess the other thing I'm enjoying is not the inseam. Sorry, the waistband. They have that
Okay.
stretchy-ish
Hmm.
waistband. They're
Yeah, it's
comfortable. I don't know what
it's
it's called
it's it's stretchy enough that it's nowhere near as
exactly.
stretchy as the Delta 68,
No, not
but
at all.
it is stretchy enough that it gives you a little bit of breathing room,
Hmm.
and to the point where um, you lose 10 pounds, you don't feel like you have to buy another pair of pants. So that is noteworthy.
Yeah.
Um, Shifting gears slightly, we both have enough Origin products that we have both dealt with some customer returns. What is your experience of customer service out of Origin?
So I have a couple hoodies, a couple hunting jackets. I have probably too much Origin. At least that's what the wife says.
That's okay.
The only issue I've ever had with them was right
Hmm.
when the Moabs came out. I actually bought the green ones and the dark
Hmm.
khaki. When I got the
Okay.
dark khaki, it was missing one belt loop, just like your Delta 68s.
Hmm.
Their customer service was uh, it's still in like their window of efficiency. It was a little
Hmm.
slower just because it was right after release date. I got
Okay.
on there. They send you the card in the package, scanned it, emailed them. Uh, they sent them back. They said, "Okay, what size do you need?" And I was able to get the sandstone because they didn't have dark khaki in stock. But out of all the Origin stuff I've ever bought, there's only been
Hmm.
that one pant that um, the belt loop was gone, and then their wool hunting jacket.
Hmm.
After I don't know, I guess I've had it for 2 or 3 years, hunted in it. Uh, the pocket is just barely tearing out. But other than that, all the Origin stuff I've ever bought, perfect quality.
That's good. So when I bought my Delta 68s, I bought two pair originally. I had to return both of them or exchange both of them. One was sized way wrong. We ordered the relaxed, and they were definitely skinny, and they were labeled relaxed. Uh, and then the other one had the belt loop torn on it, or just not sewn properly, or whatever. And contacted Origin, scanned the little QR code, and then filled out the little form on my phone. And then they gave me a label really fast. I printed the label, and then put that on the bag, because like their bags, they're reusable, like just about everybody's using now. And then mailed it off. And I think as soon as they got confirmation that the label was printed, they were mailing my replacement jeans. To the point where I think it was the next day that I actually mailed them out. And then the end of that day, I had my replacement jeans at the house, and they were right. So no issues on that one. And then I bought a couple more pair. Everything was fine. And then on the Moabs, bought two pair with a hoodie. The hoodie was great. I'm not ready to do a review on the hoodie, and in all honesty, it's a hoodie. So like, you either like it or you don't. The hoodie, the only real like awesome factor about the hoodie is if you wear a hard hat, the hoodie is incorporated with enough space on it that it will go around a hard hat. So it's made with working people in mind, I guess. Um, Past that, like, if it's a hoodie, it's good, and it's American made, cool. But the Moab pants, one pair was right, and I don't remember which of the two was right. The other one, it was the wrong size, and they were very, very clearly the skinny, even though they were labeled the regular fit. And like, I put them on, and I was like, these are the skinny jeans. And we checked, and it was the wrong size, but they were also labeled regular fit. And so same return process, scanned the QR code, and then sent it back. And like, it was like the next day or the day after, that I had the replacement pants in hand. Everything was good to go. So I've had two returns with Origin. Well, technically three, I guess, since you got three total products, but two return processes returned out of probably 8 pair of pants that I own from Origin. So uh, track record wise, I've had, a couple of returns, a couple of things wrong. And some of those things I think are happening when you're buying stuff on sale, is that they just have so much volume going through that like some things do get missed. Um, but the return process is quite literally the easiest return process I've ever had out of anybody that does business online. The I I originally resisted the idea of the online return because I was like, there's no way they're going to be specific enough. But there is so much specificity just in checking boxes, on that return process, that I was able to clearly articulate to them what was wrong, and they fixed it like within a day or two. Uh, and that the fact that they would the repair and like expedite the shipping, um, in before I even would send back what was wrong, was incredible to me. I mean, they have your card information on file, so if you fail, they'll just charge you money. But um, their return process is amazing. Um, every other company that I've ever dealt with that I would consider like a good return process, like you're talking a week to 10 days to get stuff. And Origin, like it's within the same calendar week. So
Yeah.
it's just like my experience. I don't know how fast you've noticed there.
Yeah, like I said, out of all the stuff I've purchased, I've only had to do the one return, and it was for the Moab pants right after the release. And that was a pretty hyped release, so of course it's going to take a second. Even with the time it took, it was still, by the time I got the confirmation email and the label printed, it was within the same week I got them. So
That's awesome.
it probably 3 days total, and that was like right after that massive release.
Yeah,
so I thought it was
nothing.
acceptable.
So,
Oh yeah, I thought it was completely acceptable.
yeah. So like I've had like pleasant return experiences from a lot of other companies, and I've had some horrible ones too. But uh, like 5 to 10 days is kind of like what you would expect, and the fact that like you're Johnny on the spot, hey, this isn't right, boom, and they're like, yeah, no problem, we'll take care of this right now. Here's your confirmation number. Here's a tracking number. Like, and within a very short window, stuff's on the way. So that I think is worth it. The fact that we're not worried about them getting caught up in tariffs, is nice too. The fact that when you reach out to them like a person in America is being dealt with instead of somebody like who they're paying third party in India or whatever to process stuff, and it's just like, okay, I can actually deal with people who understand my struggles, who breathe the same air that I do, that are going through American channels to get things done, and that is a place that I'm willing to spend my dollar in.
Yeah.
And I would say the difference, I guess, in buying a non-US made pair of pants, cool, you saved 10 to 15 bucks for something relatively comparable, or you can spend a little bit more money and invest in that American infrastructure. And then, also companies that are here are probably more likely to listen to what we want out of products. And so I would say that, if enough people have the same complaint that we do, about the cuffs or whatever, would be able to voice that, like, hey, I would really like to be able to use my pants for this purpose, could you? And my experience with Origin is that they really do listen to their customers. So I would be willing to bet that if other people are having the same suggestion, that they would probably go through that on a redesign in the future. So, but
yeah, they're very community oriented too. If you follow them on their social medias, they're always asking questions. They generally care about the customers, which I think that's one of the most important things for me. They're asking questions of what product developments, preferences. They even reply on comments on Instagram, so that's pretty cool.
That's super nice. So wrapping all this up, you are going to do a couple of posts on Instagram, just showing people your pants. I know we couldn't do video, where you were going to be side by side with me, just internet connections and stuff. But people can connect with you on your Instagram, and I will share as well, just so we can tag team. And I'll try and do a community post on YouTube as well, just so people can see a couple of pictures of some long-term hold up on your pants, Again, one more time for people to plug in to your Instagram, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on the Mountain Ministries on Instagram and On the Mountain Ministries on YouTube. And I'll do some quick shorts if they want to look on there too, of just me in the pants.
Awesome.
So if they want to look at those, I'll tag you in that as well.
Awesome, cool. And I will do my best to duplicate share those, so that way people can find them and can go from there. Beyond that, is there anything else that that you want to share with people on what's coming up on your channel, so they can possibly engage with you a little bit more?
Yeah, for sure. So currently I'm my big thing is I don't force content. So if I have inspiration, I journal it. I'll look at Bible study notes and I'll post it. Sometimes it's shorts, sometimes it'll be Bible study, sometimes it's going to be amateur radio. It could be hiking, camping, anything like that. So that's kind of what will be expected. Right now, it's I kind of have the bug for it again. It's warm outside, so there'll probably be a couple new things on there. And I got a couple ideas for Bible study stuff that I'll be putting my point of view in there on there as well.
Awesome.
But that'll take time as it usually does.
Awesome. So on my end, I'm still continuing in my daily push-up challenge. People will see that I'm surprisingly getting more growth out of that than I thought I was going to. I am in the process of finishing up notes on my abomination study. You guys may have noticed some abomination videos where I was going through on the Strong's Concordance type stuff. And those are a precursor to what I'm doing with that. There's probably going to be 8 to 10 long form videos, some pretty in-depth scripture study that I would love to share with you guys. My spreadsheet, which is abominably long, and has taken up the last 6 months of my free time. That will be released in every single one of the long form content videos. And when I'm ready to release the spreadsheet, it will be retroactively put in all of the shorts that I did on the abomination word study stuff. And that will be looking at some very controversial topics in scripture, to the point where I'm very prepared to get channel strikes on some of the things that I'm going to be talking about, just on what scripture has to say about what an abomination is and what things are abominations. And so that's something that, if I get channel strikes for them, I'll take them and I'll wear them as a badge of honor, because if it's for scripture, I'll do it. But that one is that. I am very closely approaching 5,000, or not 5,000. That'd be so cool. I am very quickly approaching 500 subscribers. As of the time of this recording, I want to say I'm at like 425, something like that. And so I would really appreciate it if not only you would like and subscribe to my channel, if you'd go give Mr. Scouting in the Woods some love and go like and subscribe on his channel as well. Because you're rocking 37 subscribers right now.
Yeah, that's what it was earlier this morning. Yes.
So I would really love it if you guys who are subscribed to me, if you go check out his channel. He's producing some really thoughtful Bible content videos. Your radio stuff is like way above my head, because I'm not in the radio game yet, and I need to be. And just the fact that you get out there and actually get dirty while you're studying scripture, I think is amazing. More people need to do that.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Like, that is having dirt under your fingernails and reading scripture. More people need to do that.
Yes, I agree with that.
And all of that, I want to thank everybody for coming. Thanks for listening to our ramblings about pants, like the last 49 minutes talking about our britches. But all in all, they're a good set of pants, and I would highly recommend, if you need a good set of work pants, looking at the Origin Moabs. So,
well, awesome.
With that, go do hard things.
Have a blessed day, y'all.